Oh no, something really interesting happened to me recently that made me think about identity and change. Your actions don't follow your identity. Your identity follows your actions. Let me paint a picture for you, and I'm sure many of you can relate to this picture. Someone who wants to become healthy, they go all in, right? They buy expensive equipment, tell everyone about their new lifestyle. I mean, they even get the perfect workout clothes. Here's what typically happens. 3 weeks later, right back to old habits. Now this brings up a fascinating question, and I really want you to think about this with me. Why does this happen? Well, what I've discovered is that they tried to change their identity first. They basically tried to force it. But, and this is crucial, identity just doesn't work that way. Think of your brain like a detective. It's constantly watching what you do, not what you say. Every tiny action, and I mean every single one, sends a signal. This is who I am. Do something once, your brain just sees it as a fluke. Twice, now it starts to notice an interesting pattern. 3 times, that's when something magical happens. Your brain goes, oh wait a minute, this must be part of who they are. Start microscopically small, so small it feels almost stupid. Like if you want to become a reader, don't do what I initially did and declare, I'll read 50 books this year. Instead, just read 1 page every day. Just 1. Let me break down what actually happens in your brain. It's pretty incredible when you think about it. Your brain notices, interesting, we read today. Tomorrow, another page. We're doing this again. Day 3, wait a minute, are we becoming a reader? This is what I call the identity loop in action. And honestly, it's beautiful in its simplicity. Small, consistent signals reshape your self-image, which then makes those actions feel more natural, which strengthens your self-image even more. No willpower needed, no massive declarations, just tiny strategic actions that add up to massive change. This works for any change you want to make, but there's a catch. You have to start smaller than your ego wants to, way smaller. Your ego screams for dramatic change. Your brain, it whispers for consistency. And in this battle, drawing from years of observation, the brain always wins. Your brain changes every single day, and you get to decide how it changes. Pretty incredible, right? Think of your brain like a garden. Every thought you have, every action you take, every habit you repeat, they're like creating trails in that garden. When you walk the same path over and over, it becomes clearer, wider, easier to travel. Just like the path I take to my coffee machine every morning. Trust me, that one's well worn. But wait, it gets even more interesting. Your brain has no idea whether these paths lead to flowers or weeds. It just does what it's designed to do. Hey, we use this path a lot. Better make it stronger. It's kind of like how my brain automatically knows the route to my favorite coffee shop, even though maybe I should be heading to the gym instead. Remember how we talked about tiny actions building identity? Well, this is exactly why it works. Every time you take that small action, and I mean every single time, you're not just doing something, you're literally rewiring your brain. Pretty cool, right? Those old patterns you have, those limiting beliefs, those habits you're not super proud of, they're just paths too. And here's the good news, you can let them grow over. But, and this is really important, not by fighting them. Instead, we're going to build new paths. When you try to stop a habit, your brain actually focuses on it even more. It's like, okay, quick experiment with me. Don't think about pink elephants. What are you thinking about right now? Pink elephants, right? Don't worry, it gets us every time. So here's what we do instead. Instead of fighting the old path, focus on building the new one. Want to stop checking your phone first thing in the morning? Don't fight that urge. That's just making your brain think about your phone even more. Instead, build a new morning routine. Maybe it's drinking water, or stretching, or taking 3 deep breaths. Whatever works for you. Every time you take that new path, something incredible happens. You're not just creating a habit, you're literally building new neural connections. And that old path starts to fade, not because you fought it, fighting it actually makes it stronger, but because you simply stopped maintaining it. Kind of like how that old route to my previous job gradually faded from my mind once I started working from home. This is the real secret to lasting change. You don't have to wage war with your old self. You just have to consistently build new paths, one tiny step at a time. Your brain will do the rest. It's literally designed for this. If you're curious about how this has worked for you before, think about any habit you've successfully changed in the past. By the way, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Now that we understand how our brain creates and strengthens new pathways, let's explore how to make this process virtually automatic through our environment. The smartest way to change your life isn't what most people think. Stop relying on motivation. Stop counting on willpower. Instead, let's talk about something way more powerful, your environment. Take a moment and do something with me. Look around your room right now. Everything you see is either pushing you towards your goals or pulling you away from them. You actually have complete control over this. Let me use a simple example from nature. Think about water. Water always follows the path of least resistance, right? Always flows downhill. And here's the thing about your behavior. It works exactly the same way. I noticed this in my own life. You naturally flow toward whatever's easiest in your environment. Here's a practical example. Want to eat healthier? I used to think it was all about willpower, trying to resist those late-night cravings. But here's what actually works. Don't stock up on willpower. Just stop buying junk food. Because let me tell you something I've learned through experience. At 10 p.m., when you're tired and stressed, willpower, it's gone. But you know what still works perfectly? The fact that there's no junk food in your house. I call this the friction principle. It's pretty simple, really. Make good habits downhill. Make bad habits uphill. Want to exercise more? Put your workout clothes right by your bed. Want to stop mindless social media scrolling? Delete the apps. Make it take 3 extra steps to access them. Remember how we talked about brain patterns earlier, naturally connecting the concepts? Well, your environment is basically a physical version of those patterns. Change the environment, and you automatically change the patterns. Studies show that people who keep a fruit bowl visible eat 70% more fruit. Think about that for a second. No willpower needed, no motivation required, just smart environmental design. It's exactly what happened when I put a water bottle on my desk. Suddenly I was drinking way more water without even thinking about it. Once you understand this principle, you can design success triggers everywhere. Want to read more? Put books on your coffee table. It's what finally got me reading consistently. Want to drink more water? Put water bottles at every spot you typically sit. Your environment is like an invisible force field that's always influencing your behavior. Once you set it up right, it works 24/7, even when you're tired, stressed, or completely unmotivated. I'd love to hear in the comments what environmental changes have worked for you, or what changes you're planning to make after learning this. Even the most perfectly designed environment needs a power source, and that's where most people miss something crucial. Everyone talks about time management, but there's a crucial truth they miss. You can't actually manage time. Time moves forward no matter what we do. What you can manage is your energy. Let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself here. Have you ever had one of those days with plenty of free time, but felt so drained you couldn't do anything meaningful with it? Or maybe you've experienced the opposite, where you had just 30 minutes, but you were so energized you accomplished more than you usually do in 3 hours. I see some of you nodding. We've all been there. Here's what took me years to understand. Your energy isn't just about being tired or awake. It's actually your capacity to make changes, to learn, to grow, to push forward. Unlike time, which we can't control, energy can be expanded. Think about that for a second. Most people, and I was guilty of this too, get this completely backwards. They try to squeeze more and more into their time, push harder, sleep less, work longer. But watch closely, this always backfires, always. Think of your energy like a battery that comes with a solar panel. Sure, you can drain it. We all do sometimes. You can also recharge it, and even better, you can actually upgrade your battery's capacity. Pretty amazing, right? Your brain uses 20% of your body's energy, but during intense focus periods, that can jump up to 70%. This explains so much, doesn't it? This is why you feel mentally exhausted after learning something new. Your brain is literally running a marathon. Recovery isn't just about rest, it's about strategic renewal. You know those moments when you think you're doing nothing? Well, something incredible is happening. Your brain is actually consolidating learning, replenishing energy, and building new neural pathways. Mind-blowing, isn't it? This completely transforms how we should think about planning our days. Instead of asking, how can I fit more in, which I used to do all the time, ask yourself, how can I match my tasks to my energy peaks? Need to learn something new? Do it when your energy is highest. Want to be creative? Match it to when your mind is fresh. It's like surfing. You want to catch the wave at just the right moment. Remember how we talked about environmental design? Now let's apply that same thinking to your energy. Design your day around your natural energy rhythms. Create renewal triggers. Build in recovery periods. Because here's what I've learned to be absolutely true. When you master your energy, time takes care of itself. I had planned to cover more today, but I believe in keeping these concepts digestible and actionable. If you're finding value in these insights about brain optimization and energy management, let me know in the comments below. Your feedback will help me shape additional videos of this series. Also, I'd love to hear how you're planning to apply these energy management principles in your daily life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.